yeah, that was pretty much it. Hello everyone, this is Foxcraft, and welcome back to another little bit of a deep dive into High Five Friends. They just released another episode, and so we're gonna go ahead and look into it. And this time, it's something very interesting because, as stated before, pretty much right now, High Five Friends has now halfway done with its broadcasting, and it's literally on episode 6. And as stated before by GP Reed, is taking a very dark turn, a very interesting turn to say the least. And episode 6 definitely gives us a little bit of a lot of information. Not a whole lot, but there is a lot to look into, and it's definitely very interesting to say the least. And yeah, it gets to the point where we even see Happy start punching his own guidance or something. I don't know, his own conscience. I don't know. But it's definitely gotten to a point of things getting very interesting. And it looks like stuff is getting out of hand. I don't know what to say, but it's very interesting. I'll just say that it is very interesting to say the least. So let's go ahead and look into it. At the very start of this video, we see Happy, of course, literally remembering something and thinking he forgot it. And then we go to 1 month ago where he's trying to find his sister Joy. Because obviously, as we remember, something bad happened to her with the whole phone thing. And he really does go looking for her. And the first unique thing we discovered, after going through this montage, because he really did look all over the place, is the fact that we finally get to know who Father looks like. And and he looks kind of interesting to say the least. Definitely very dark and disturbing, and we have static. And this is the first time we've seen the father since a couple of years ago during the first act of Naomi. So this is very interesting. Anyways, he tries to contact some stuff. Obviously, they don't know where she's at. And soon a news broadcast explains that he basically died. Through that, what's going to be explained on the bottom, but basically it's very much an interesting case, as it's pretty much the smiley face killer who killed her. And we see a bunch of FBI open up kind of places, just standard stuff to show the situation, how dire it is. Pretty interesting how he was able to find that. Also, just want to point something out here. It says that this place, we now got a confirmed location of where this place taking place, which is stated to be Cleveland, Ohio, which I have a gut feeling that was made as a secret joke, which I still don't understand, but okay. I mean, I heard of the joke, I just don't understand how a freaking state could be always bad. It's always questioned me since the least, because if that's the case, then I don't know, because I feel like America is all bad, but that's just my common sense on that. Then we jumped ahead to the whole place thing we just saw, and yeah, let's just say Hart pushed way too far, and logic told him to kick her butt. That's not a lie, because that's what happens here. And at first it looks funny, but it's also pretty disturbing, because it shows him finally having a mental breakdown. Also, real quick before we do leave this scene, because it's definitely disturbing, we see a bunch of happies, but one in particular that caught my eye is a duck. A duck. Now, my gut feeling is this might be a hidden Easter egg reference to GP reacting to that duck, that weird duck video. But it could be meaning something else, but I'll keep an eye out for it. But yeah, we see a bunch of happies, or logic to be an example. And mind you that this is definitely insane. And we also see, by the way, I think it should be noted, it says, thank you for choosing logic, which could be a reference to the poll, but we never saw a poll at the beginning of this video, so who knows. And that's when more insane things start happening.
He's been sitting there for almost an hour now. If this behavior continues, I'll have to call the boss.
The body of an unidentified person was found at the bottom of Barratruth Lake in New Cleveland, Ohio, this past Wednesday evening.
So, yeah, basically that happened. And there's a lot to take in with that, though to clarify that blood on his hands was after he kind of killed freaking Hart. And there's definitely no doubt that there was it was all going in his head, and it was literally, he was sitting down and of course his co-worker was watching him, and he said he'll have to call the boss, so we'll have to see how that goes. And of course we saw the ending, which also showed the killer putting the bugs in the water to get rid of the person, which is a common thing. So there's a lot to take in. And as you might guess, in the forgotten part is Happy was possibly there when this whole situation happened. How this connects, who knows? It could be the fact that Happy may have been forced to forget what happened to his sister, so that way he wouldn't work, or possibly he may have actually did all that. Again, all this is now up in the air because, well, who knows? However, there are some Easter eggs to point out, and the biggest one was at the end where reverse speech was there. However, unfortunately, I could only get a handful of the reverse speech a little bit from start to finish, and even then, I have no idea what it says. So here is what it says. So good luck with this one. If I could play it. Again, good thing I have a 3DS that can play stuff backwards, otherwise I wouldn't be able to catch this. But even then, you could tell, I don't know what it was saying other than it says, you saw and you're under suspicious. I could be wrong with that, but it is reverse speech. And, it backs up to the point of Happy possibly was there, or, I don't know. At this point, again, as you might guess, the thin line keeps getting, the whole thing keeps going to gray. It's literally mixing. It's hard to tell who is really the killer at this point. But to be frank, it does show that Happy may not remember what happened. Could Happy be the killer? Could it be the coworker? Who God knows. But again, there are some couple of things that is mentioned. One, we do see the bugs, which kind of confirm my theory that these bugs could be based off of larvae, and more specifically, I can't remember. I forgot which larva. I think maggots. There we go, maggots. possibly to try to get rid of the body. Of course, there are actual scientific stuff about the bugs that we learn later on, but that still is kind of the point, being they're part of the killer's thing, which has been seen in media before, actually. And of course, the second thing is we're now reintroduced to either the Naomi father or just the Happy's father, which I do believe is possibly even both, but I could be wrong on that. However, believe it or not, we're actually not done with this stuff, because believe it or not, after after the last episode, I gotten two new interesting information that is worth talking about. The first one is the person who I actually won't say who they are, of course, to keep them safe from Naomi, just in case. But they talked to me on Discord, and I was able to save their chat through screenshots, but I'm not going to show it. I'll just refer to them as the Angel. And they were talking, and they actually came to me after the last video and started asking me, giving me some answers. So I'll just go ahead and read through a lot of things. And they said that the fourth tower is in Latvata. I don't know. Let me quickly try to not show the person by showing this map. It's somewhere in Europe. There you go. I'm not gonna. Or by the Basically, I can't I can never pronounce that shit. Anyways, it's also stated that the fourth tower deals with the quantum core, and they're unsure where 3, 1, 3, 4, or 5. Well, no wait. Oh, they're just confirming they don't know what tower is near me, because as you remember, there's a tower in the dream world they put in, and they don't know which number that is. Then I asked them a couple of questions, and basically they're able to give me a list of what each tower is. Tower 1, where the old ways were stolen. Number 2 is unknown. Number 3, the smiley face killer is around there. So the smiley face killer it's obviously in Ohio. Located at Vel 1, number 4, and number 5 is located in the afterlife, which, okay, begs the question, was it hell or what? Or heaven or whatever? I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe in the afterlife. I'm just questioning how the hell you put a tower in the dream world and a fucking afterlife. I don't know. Anyways, we started talking, and the person said they're unfamiliar with Naomi Cat, and they said when I became a Lavender, I have no guidebook. I learned everything what I could. Naomi Cat being not one of them. Meaning that this person may came during way before I got into investigating this thing. And I asked them the biggest question. Is it true that Grant, GP Reed, was white Naomi? And they said they do not know if he is or not. They said they confirmed that Grant is not Blanco. And they said, all I know is that Naomi wants TP. Grant was a file that they wanted. What that file... Oh, wait, excuse me. Grant has a file that they wanted. What that file is, they don't know. Then, of course, they talk about... And then I told them I learned about that because we already know about that. And she said, perhaps I wonder how he escaped and perhaps got his name back. Same. Although I do want to point out, I'm more on the escape side than name, because I don't know how that has to do with Grant, but I didn't know once you're in Naomi, you lose your name as well, so makes sense. And then they said, I'll explain with something. When I became Lavender, my name of blank was taken from my mind and replaced with Violet Lavender Naomi. Luckily, my friends knew me as blank and helped me recall, but Violet always stuck forever. So they have mind control stuff. So, and they confirm it, kind of more like it to me. Now I'm a violet, and blah blah blah. And then they said, shit, and that's because JP Reed was talking about that. They were talking about that with JP Reed, and they said, curious, what file did it want for you? And then he said, we are related. One thing, the higher ups. One thing I stole. What does it say? Which higher up? Higher up building Seoul. And she said, bring them back. Again, I got proof here. I'm not just going to show this because I don't want her getting hunted down by Naomi or just saying, no, we can't trust this bullshit. And I asked who is this Sewell. I'm unsure fully who they are, but they were dead. So this Soul or Saul guy is supposed to be fucking dead. Although I'm not surprised to be resurrected because Naomi seems to know how to resurrect people into robot zombies. And then they also show herself, revealing that they put a crown on her and stuff. I'm not going to say what they did to her. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't talk to her afterwards, but that's literally something worth noting that happened. And keyword happened. So yeah, I got some info. Not much, but I did got some interesting details with that. And again, I'm not going to show the thing because again, I don't want to showcase who leaked that stuff to me. But they did tell me, and fair to say, at least someone was able to tell me what all that about. Okay, so the second thing is that I actually tried to find, but I couldn't. It was a live stream that he did a couple of weeks ago. That it was in a Grant was in some sort of kind of outdoors festival that staying there was part of Naomi. Now I don't know if Naomi, if he's kind of was joking on that, but I could not find any festival at all. I tried my hardest, but I couldn't find any. So I need to figure out, kind of looking around to see where he may have put it. But so far, I haven't seen anything. All I see is does his stuff. So yeah, I couldn't find it, but I know he did make that stuff. So yeah. But of course, it was nothing. I just want to point that out because that was very intriguing and stuff. Because again, I don't know if this Naomi thing is actually, of course, this whole thing is ARG, but I do wonder if he did base the ARG off of an actual real life company, which is be very interesting. Long story short, pretty much there's kind of interesting development going on with the story, but there was really nothing to say the least. For the most part, everything was kind of interesting. To say the least, I will say I'm now kind of invested of what could happen next because I do wonder what Happy will do and stuff. And there is one more thing I should note. Happy on his Twitter stated that before the thing was released, like I'm telling you, the evening before it was released at 12 o'clock sharp around here, he did state that he wondered if anyone will hate him for what he did or whatever. So I do wonder what's going on. Now, again, I don't know. Again, this is becoming more foggier and foggier. I don't know who could have done it at this point. I'm pretty much kind of like on the matter. All I know is right now Happy is like in a very serious situation, and God knows what logic will do to him. Which I think I should mention, I forgot to mention this. This literally does throw my whole theming of the angel and demon on the shoulder thing, which I still believe it is somewhat symbolic. But it throws that a little bit out the window because now we kind of see there's also more darker, because turns out logic is also probably messed up. I mean, then again, wouldn't be too surprised if you play Shin Megami Tensei with Law of Chaos crap, but still, it's definitely interesting to see what logic will do, because even if logic may be better than heart, let's just say logic is definitely not very supposed, and I think it goes without saying, but there's no doubt that something's up with his mental state right now. It's definitely intriguing, to say the least. Like, who knows what could this be? Could this actually be split personality disorder? Which I don't think, but could possibly, due to how he can't control himself. Could this just be him having a mental trauma or PTSD from the abuse he may receive? Because we all know he was abused. Who knows? It's out of the blue, but it is clear that Happy has some mental trauma. The killer has now finally got to Joy, and she's probably dead due to what happened. And we'll just have to see who it is. Like, honestly, I'm still shocked that they haven't figured out who the killer is. But that might be because, like, if I have a theory, I have a working theory that whoever this killer is, they're working with Naomi to bring Happy down for some reason because they're tired of his shenanigans. That's putting them in trouble, so they're trying to put freaking Happy down and try to put him in jail or something, or call him mentally insane. I don't know. I'm just a guy who really just looking into this, and there's a lot that's still going on. But either way, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to say on this subject, and I don't have much else to go out other than sorry for the lack of uploads, because things have gotten real to say the least. But anyways, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what will happen. But either way, there's been Foxcat. I'm snapping out of here. Bye-bye.